The chains rattled as Noah Bennett stood before the bench, his voice breaking the suffocating silence. "Your Honor, I'm not asking you to change my sentence. I'm not asking for mercy on my time. I'm asking for 30 minutes. Just 30 minutes to record a message for my daughter before I go in." Judge Evelyn Grant's pen froze mid-signature. The courtroom, packed with lawyers, clerks, and spectators, went deadly quiet. She looked up, her eyes meeting his, a young man whose hands trembled not from fear, but from the weight of a father's desperation. "Mr. Bennett," she said slowly, her voice measured, "you understand what you're asking is unprecedented." "I do, Your Honor, but my little girl is 4 years old. By the time I get out, she'll be a grown woman. I need her to hear my voice, to know I loved her, even if I failed at everything else." The prosecutor shot to his feet. "Your Honor, this is highly irregular. Sit down, counselor." Evelyn's words cut through the air like a blade. She stared at Noah, at the photograph he'd pulled from his pocket, worn, creased, loved into softness. A little girl with pigtails and a crooked smile. And in that moment, Judge Evelyn Grant made a decision that would not only silence the entire courtroom, but would change both their lives in ways neither could have imagined. Welcome to Mother Pen Tales, where every story carries a heartbeat, and every heartbeat carries a lesson. If you're new here, welcome to the family. And to my beautiful subscribers, those of you who come back time and time again, thank you. Your presence here means more than you know. Before we dive into this powerful story, I want to say a quick prayer for you. Bow your heads with me, wherever you are. Heavenly Father, I lift up every person watching this video right now. Whatever burden they're carrying, whatever battle they're fighting in silence, I pray that you meet them exactly where they are. Give them strength when they feel weak, hope when they feel lost, and remind them that their story isn't over. Let this day bring them unexpected blessings, divine protection, and the courage to keep going. In Jesus' name, amen. Now, let's go back to where it all began. 22 years. That's how long Evelyn Grant had sat behind the bench, a fortress of varnished wood and tempered glass, adjudicating the messy, complicated lives of people who stood before her in their worst moments. The courthouse smelled perpetually of lemon cleaner and old paper, scents that had become as familiar to her as her own perfume. She moved through her days with the precision of a seasoned conductor, orchestrating docket calls, sentencing memoranda, and ceremonial oaths with the kind of steadiness that made younger lawyers nervous and older ones respectful. "All rise for the Honorable Judge Evelyn Grant," the bailiff would announce, and the room would shift. A collective straightening of spines, a rustling of papers, a held breath. Evelyn had learned early in her career to separate herself from the weight of her decisions. She had to. If she carried home every tearful mother, every remorseful defendant, every victim's anguished testimony, she would have drowned in it years ago. So she built walls. Professional, necessary walls. She was fair, thorough, and utterly unshakable. Some called her the Iron Judge. Others simply called her justice personified. But walls, no matter how carefully constructed, sometimes develop cracks in the most unexpected places. It was a Tuesday morning, crisp and clear, the kind of autumn day where the light slants through courtroom windows and makes even dust particles look purposeful. Evelyn had already processed 3 cases, a DUI, a parole violation, and a domestic dispute that had left everyone in the room exhausted. She was reviewing her notes for the next case when the bailiff called out, "The People versus Noah David Bennett." The doors opened, and in walked a young man who looked like he was carrying the weight of the world on his shoulders. 22 years old, the file said. African American, first-time offender, charges related to an altercation that had escalated into violence. Someone had been hurt badly. Noah had been arrested, charged, and now faced a sentence that would swallow his youth whole. But it wasn't his youth that caught Evelyn's attention as he approached the bench. It was his eyes. Tired, yes. Fearful, absolutely. But there was something else there, a desperate, aching tenderness that she recognized because she had seen in the mirror during the hardest years of her own life. The prosecutor, a sharp woman named Linda Michaels, laid out the case with the efficiency of someone who had done this 1,000 times. Your Honor, the defendant has pled guilty to aggravated assault. The victim sustained significant injuries. The people recommend a sentence of 8 to 12 years, given the severity of the offense. Evelyn nodded, her face impassive. She turned to Noah. Mr. Bennett, do you understand the charges against you and the potential sentence you're facing? Yes, Your Honor. His voice was quiet but steady. Do you wish to address the court before sentencing? This was standard procedure. Most defendants either stayed silent or offered rehearsed apologies that meant little. Evelyn expected the same, but Noah took a breath, and when he spoke, his words were different. Your Honor, I'm not going to stand here and make excuses. What I did was wrong. I let my anger control me, and someone got hurt because of it. I deserve to be punished. I accept that. He paused, his jaw working. But I have a daughter. Her name is Maya. She's 4 years old. He reached into his pocket, slowly, carefully, and pulled out a photograph. Even from the bench, Evelyn could see it was worn, the corners soft from handling. I know I'm going away. I know I won't see her grow up. But Your Honor, I'm asking for something before I go. It's not about the sentence. I'll serve whatever time you give me. But could I have 30 minutes? Just 30 minutes to record a voice message for her. So when she's older, when she asks about her daddy, she'll have something. She'll know I loved her, even though I failed her. The courtroom had gone so quiet you could hear the clerks breathing. Linda Michaels stood. Your Honor, this is highly irregular. The defendant is attempting to delay. I'm not delaying anything. Noah interrupted, his voice cracking. I'll go straight to processing after. My baby girl. She's all I've got that's good in this world, and I need her to know. Evelyn stared at him, then at the photograph he was holding like a lifeline. She thought about all the cases she presided over, all the families torn apart by bad decisions and worse circumstances. She thought about the rules, the precedents, the careful boundaries she'd maintained for 2 decades. And then she thought about something her own mother had told her once. The law is meant to serve justice, Evelyn. But justice without mercy is just cruelty wearing a robe. Counselor Michaels, sit down. Evelyn's voice was firm. She turned to Noah. Mr. Bennett approached the bench. He did, slowly, flanked by his public defender, a tired-looking man named Robert Shun, who looked as surprised as everyone else. Evelyn spoke quietly. If I arrange this, and I'm not saying I will, but if I do, it would have to be supervised. Prison officials present, recorded through official channels, and you would go directly into custody afterward. No delays, no appeals. Do you understand? Yes, Your Honor. Yes. Thank you. God bless you, Your Honor. Evelyn held up a hand. I haven't decided yet. Step back. She looked at the prosecutor, at the bailiff, at the courtroom full of people waiting to see what she would do. She could feel the weight of precedent, the whispers that would follow, the think pieces that would be written. Judge Grant's convicted criminal special treatment. Judge Ben's rules for emotional plea. But she also saw a father who loved his daughter enough to ask for something that cost him his pride. Here's what's going to happen, Evelyn said, her voice carrying through the chamber. I'm going to recess this sentencing for 2 hours. During that time, Mr. Bennett will be escorted to the county facility where, under supervision, he will be permitted to record a message of no more than 30 minutes. The recording will be supervised by prison officials and logged as part of the official record. After that, he will return here for sentencing. Are we clear? Your Honor, Linda protested. This sets a dangerous precedent. Counselor, I've made my decision. If you wish to file an objection, you're welcome to do so. But right now, we're in recess. The gavel came down with a crack that echoed. Noah's legs nearly gave out. Thank you, he whispered. Thank you. As the bailiffs led him away, Evelyn caught his eye one more time. And in that moment, something shifted, something she wouldn't understand until years later. It was like watching a door open in a room she'd kept locked her entire career. The recording session took place in a small, windowless room at the county facility. A prison official stood by the door. A video camera was set up on a tripod. Noah sat in a metal chair, his hands shaking as he held the cheap recorder they'd provided. "Whenever you're ready," the official said, his voice not unkind. Noah pressed record, and then he began to speak. "Hey, Maya. Hey, baby girl. It's Daddy." His voice broke immediately, but he steadied himself. "I don't know when you're going to hear this. Maybe when you're 10, maybe when you're 20. But I need you to know some things, and I need you to hear them in my voice, okay?" He wiped his eyes with the back of his hand. "First thing, I love you. I love you more than anything in this whole world. You're the best thing I ever did, the only thing I got completely right. When you were born, and they put you in my arms for the first time, I thought my heart was going to explode. You had these tiny little fingers, and you grabbed onto my thumb. And I swear, Maya, in that moment, I promised God I'd be the kind of father you deserved." His voice grew thick. "But I messed up, baby. I let anger get the best of me. I made bad choices, and now I have to go away for a long time. And I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry you're going to grow up without me there. I'm sorry I won't be at your school plays or your birthday parties. I'm sorry I won't be there to scare away the boys, or teach you how to drive, or walk you down the aisle someday." He stopped, collecting himself. "But I need you to know that even though I won't be there, I'm always going to be your daddy. And I'm going to spend every single day of my time away trying to become the kind of man you can be proud of. I'm going to read. I'm going to learn. I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that when I finally do get a hold of you again, I'm worthy of you." A tear rolled down his cheek. "Your mama's going to take good care of you. Listen to her, okay? Be respectful. Work hard in school. Choose kindness, even when it's hard. And Maya," his voice dropped to a whisper, "don't let my mistakes define you. You're not your daddy's sins. You're your own beautiful person, and you can be anything you want to be." He pressed his hand to his chest. "I'm carrying you with me, baby girl. Every day, right here. And one day, when you're ready, I hope you'll let me tell you in person how much you mean to me. I love you, Maya, forever and always. Your daddy." The recording ended. Noah sat there, his shoulders shaking with silent sobs. The prison official looked away, giving him a moment. 2 hours later, Noah stood before Judge Grant again. His eyes were red but clear. Evelyn looked at him and saw something she hadn't seen before. A man who had just fought for the most important thing in his life. "Mr. Noah David Bennett," she began, her voice formal, "having considered the facts of this case, the victim's statement, and your own admission of guilt, this court sentences you to 10 years in state prison, with the possibility of parole after 7. It was a heavy sentence, but not the heaviest it could have been. Thank you, Your Honor," Noah said quietly. As the bailiffs approached to take him away, Evelyn did something she'd never done before. She spoke off the record. "Mr. Bennett, be the man your daughter believes you are." He met her eyes and nodded. "I will. I promise." And then he was gone, led through the doors in chains, carrying with him a recording that would become the most precious thing he owned. Evelyn sat alone in her chambers afterward, the courthouse settling into its evening quiet. She kept thinking about that photograph, the little girl with the crooked smile. She thought about Noah's voice on that recording, breaking with love and regret. And she wondered, for the first time in 22 years, whether she'd done enough, whether justice was enough, whether mercy, real mercy, required more than she'd ever been willing to give. Outside her window, the city hummed with life, and somewhere in a prison cell, a young father clutched a worn photograph and began the longest wait of his life. If this story is already touching your heart, don't keep it to yourself. Hit that like button right now and subscribe. Drop a comment telling me, do you believe in second chances? I want to hear your thoughts. And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a story that could change your perspective. Now, let's talk about what happened next. The media got hold of the story within days. Judge Grant's unusual request to convicted felon read one headline: "Mercy or mistake? Local judge under fire." Read another: "Legal analysts debated on local news whether Evelyn had overstepped her bounds. Some praised her compassion. Others called it a dangerous precedent that could undermine the seriousness of the justice system." Evelyn's phone buzzed constantly with calls from reporters, colleagues, and even old law school classmates who suddenly had opinions. She ignored most of them. In public, she released a single statement: the court acted within its discretionary authority to allow a supervised recording that did not interfere with the administration of justice. No further comment, but privately, alone in her study, she replayed the moment over and over in her mind. The look in Noah's eyes, the tremor in his voice, the photograph worn soft by a father's love. She'd built a career on certainty, on the ability to make clean decisions and move forward without second-guessing. But this one lingered. It had carved out a small space in her chest that felt tender, almost raw. Her colleague, Judge Martin Hayes, stopped by her chambers one afternoon with coffee and concern. "Evelyn, you know the appellate gossip is swirling," he said, settling into the chair across from her desk. "Some folks think you went soft. Since when do I care what people think, Martin?" He smiled. "You don't. That's what makes you good at this job. I'm just checking in, making sure you're okay with the heat." Evelyn took a sip of her coffee. A father asked to tell his daughter he loved her. "I gave him 30 minutes under supervision. If that's controversial, then perhaps we need to examine what we've become." Martin nodded slowly. "You know, I agree with you. Just want to make sure your armor was still intact." "It is," she assured him, but they both knew something had shifted. Meanwhile, 300 miles away, Noah Bennett was learning what it meant to survive inside. The prison was a gray, echoing place where time moved differently, stretching out in endless identical days, collapsing in on itself during the nights when memories became too heavy to carry. He kept Maya's photograph tucked under his pillow. Every morning, before the breakfast bell, he would pull it out and look at it. Sometimes he would whisper to it, telling her about his day, about the books he was reading, about the man he was trying to become. He enrolled in every class the prison offered. GED completion, even though he graduated high school. Vocational training, anger management, a creative writing workshop taught by a volunteer who came in on Thursdays and spoke about the power of words to rebuild broken things. In the prison library, a cramped room with donated books and fluorescent lights that flickered, Noah found sanctuary. The librarian, an older inmate named Marcus who had 20 years in and 20 more to go, took Noah under his wing. "You read much on the outside?" Marcus asked one day, shelving books with the care of a man handling sacred texts. "Not really," Noah admitted. "I was too busy being stupid." Marcus chuckled, a sound like gravel shifting. "Well, stupid got you here. Smart might get you through. What are you trying to learn?" "Everything. I want to be different when I get out. I want my daughter to meet a man she can respect." Marcus pulled a book from the shelf, a worn copy of James Baldwin's essays. "Start here." Baldwin knew about becoming, about carrying the weight of who you were while building who you're going to be. Noah read that book cover to cover 3 times. Then he moved on to others. Fiction, biography, history, poetry. He read about fathers and daughters, about redemption and failure, about men who had fallen and found ways to stand again. He filled notebooks with thoughts, questions, prayers written in cramped handwriting during the hours when sleep wouldn't come. He wrote letters to Maya, too, though he knew she was too young to read them. Her mother, Shanice, had agreed to keep them in a box for when Maya was older. Each letter was a small act of faith, a belief that someday, somehow, his words would reach his daughter and she would understand that he had never stopped loving her. "Dear Maya," he wrote on a Tuesday evening, the rec room loud with voices around him. "Today I learned a new word, perseverance. It means keeping going even when things are hard. I'm practicing it every day. I'm persevering for you." The years crawled by. 3 years in, Noah was promoted to a library assistant position. 5 years in, he completed a correspondence course in early childhood education. 7 years in, He sat before a parole board, 3 stern-faced officials who held his future in their hands. "Mr. Bennett," the board chair said, shuffling through papers, "you've completed numerous programs during your incarceration. Your record shows no disciplinary issues. Tell us why you believe you're ready for parole." Noah had prepared for this moment, but now that it was here, all his rehearsed words felt hollow. So he spoke from the place that mattered. "I'm not going to tell you I'm a different person, because that would be a lie. I'm still Noah Bennett. I still carry the weight of what I did. But I've spent 7 years learning how to carry it differently. I've learned that the man I was, angry, impulsive, careless, that man hurt people, hurt someone badly, and I can't undo that." He paused, his hands folded on the table. "But I have a daughter who deserves a father who shows up, not just physically, but emotionally. A father who's done the work to understand why he failed before, so he doesn't fail again. I've taken every class, read every book, written every letter trying to become that man. And if you give me parole, I promise you won't regret it. Because I'm not just trying to get out. I'm trying to build a life worth living." 3 weeks later, the letter came. Parole granted. Noah sat on his bunk, the letter shaking in his hands, and wept. Marcus clasped his shoulder. "You did it, young brother. Now comes the hard part, staying out." "I know," Noah whispered. "I know." The day of his release, Noah walked through the prison gates with nothing but a box of his belongings, $200 in gate money, and Maya's photograph in his pocket. The world outside was louder, faster, more overwhelming than he remembered. Colors seemed too bright. Cars moved too quickly. He stood on a sidewalk for a full minute, just breathing free air. Shanice picked him up. Their relationship had ended before the arrest, but she'd stayed in touch throughout his incarceration, updating him on Maya, letting him know about report cards and missing teeth and first days of school. "She knows you're coming home," Shanice said as they drove through familiar streets that felt foreign. "She's nervous, excited, scared, all of it." "I'm all of that too," Noah admitted. "Noah," Shanice glanced at him, "you really different? Or are you just better at pretending?" It was a fair question, an important one. "I'm different," he said. "Not perfect, but different. You'll see." The meeting with Maya happened at a park. Neutral ground. She was 11 now, no longer the toddler in the photograph, but a lanky girl with her hair in braids and her mother's eyes. She sat on a swing, not swinging, just watching as Noah approached. He'd imagined this moment 1,000 times, but now that it was real, words failed him. "Hi, Maya." "Hi." They stared at each other. "I know this is weird," Noah said softly. "I know I'm basically a stranger to you, but I want you to know. I listened to your recording," she interrupted. "Mom let me listen to it when I turned 10. Noah's breath caught. "You did?" She nodded. "You sounded different. Younger." "I was younger, and a lot more foolish." Maya kicked at the dirt. "Are you gonna leave again?" "No, baby girl. Not if I can help it. People break promises." "They do," Noah agreed. "And I can't promise I'll be perfect. But I can promise I'm going to show up. Every day. In whatever way you'll let me." She looked at him then, really looked at him. And he saw his own eyes looking back. "Okay," she said quietly. "Okay." It wasn't a reunion from a movie. There were no running embraces or swelling music. Just a father and daughter, carefully beginning to build something from scratch. And 300 miles away, Judge Evelyn Grant was preparing to close a different chapter of her life entirely. Her retirement had been planned for months, but when the day finally came, it felt abrupt. 22 years of robes and gavels, of other people's lives weighed and measured, and suddenly, nothing. Just a gold watch, a plaque, and polite applause from colleagues who would forget her name within a year. "What will you do with yourself?" Martin asked at the retirement dinner. "I have no idea," Evelyn said, and realized it was true. She'd spent so long being Judge Grant that she'd forgotten how to be just Evelyn. The first weeks were strange. She slept late, read novels, tended a garden she neglected for years. But restlessness crept in. She'd spent her career in service of something larger than herself, and without it, she felt unmoored. So, she started volunteering, first with a legal aid clinic, helping people navigate bureaucracy, then with a literacy initiative housed in a building adjacent to her old courthouse. The program taught adults to read, offered GED preparation, and provided job skills training for people trying to rebuild their lives. And that's where, 8 months after his release, Noah Bennett's name appeared on the volunteer roster. Evelyn was reviewing applications when she saw it. Noah David Bennett, age 29, former incarceration, interested in tutoring, available evenings and weekends. Her hands went still. She remembered him immediately. The young man with the photograph, the breaking voice, the desperate love. She'd wondered, over the years, what had happened to him. Whether he'd served his full sentence. Whether he'd kept his promise to his daughter. And now, apparently, he was about to walk back into her orbit. Their first meeting happened on a Thursday evening. Evelyn was organizing donated books when the program coordinator brought him over. "Evelyn, this is Noah Bennett, one of our new volunteers. Noah, this is Evelyn Grant. She helps run our literacy program." Noah extended his hand, and Evelyn saw the recognition flicker across his face. But he didn't say anything, just smiled politely. "Nice to meet you," he said. "Likewise," Evelyn replied. They were both lying. It wasn't until later, after the coordinator had left and they were alone in the small office that smelled of old books and cheap coffee, that Noah spoke again. "You probably don't remember me." "I remember," Evelyn said simply. "I wanted to thank you for what you did. It meant everything." Evelyn set down the book she was holding. "How's your daughter?" Noah's face transformed, lit up from the inside. "She's 12 now, smart as hell, wants to be a marine biologist. We're still figuring out how to be father and daughter, but we're getting there." And the recording, she's listened to it so many times she's got parts memorized. Says it helps her understand where I was in my head back then. He paused. Says it helps her forgive me. Evelyn felt something catch in her throat. "You kept your promise. Trying to. Every day." And that, right there, was where everything truly began. Not with a dramatic courtroom moment or a bold act of mercy, but with two people standing in a cramped office, acknowledging the strange thread that connected their past to their present. Neither of them knew, in that moment, just how tangled that thread would become, but they were about to find out. To be continued. Like, comment, and subscribe about what you think of Noah's story. See you in the next video.